Good morning and welcome to the Ask Geeky Girl Show. My name is Angela Mondor and I'm also known as the Geeky Girl. I help stuck and stressed out entrepreneurs to have more fun in their business so that they can attract their perfect clients. And today we are talking about vlogging and podcasting and how your blog can assist you in growing those things. How can you be successful using your blog? And here's what's interesting. First of all, let's talk about what first, what is this concept? Not everybody knows what a blog or a vlog or a podcast is, and that's really important to let you know what that is and what's going on there. I'm also going to share this out. So the concept that I want you to understand is that a vlog is literally a video log. That's why they call it a vlog. Why do they call a blog though? That's a better question. However, so the vlog is the video part. So most people who are vlogging, it's mostly videos. And on that same note, people who are live streamers technically are vlogging. And it's interesting because now, of course, vlog was a term that was created a long time, well, not a long time ago, but a while ago, and now, of course, live streaming is new. So it's kind of in the same framework, though, that vlogging and live streaming is similar, as that it is mostly video content. The difference between an actual vlog and live streaming is the fact that the live streaming is done live and there's not a lot of editing, whereas the vlogging is mostly edited. So that's the difference between a vlog and live streaming. However, they're kind of the same because they're mostly video content. Now, what's a podcast? Some of you may or may not know. A podcast is an audio show, so done completely with audio only, no video, and it is usually delivered by either iTunes or there's Stitcher. There's different ways you upload your audio file, and then people can listen to that audio file, and it's typically in a series or a show. There's either people interview people, maybe there is or maybe it's just one person doing the show. So there's many different ways to run a podcast, but it is mostly audio based. Now, the question now becomes, do I have to choose between a blog, a vlog, or a podcast? And my answer is no. You don't need to choose between them. You do have to decide where your strengths are. I would never suggest that you go full into doing it all at one time. So unless you are a large organization with a huge team, it is really difficult for you to do a vlog, a podcast, a blog, a live stream. Like, all of these things take time and energy. And so I would say focus on what you do best first. So for me, I'm not a big writer. I've done a few things. I've done a blog, I've done a vlog, I've done podcasting, and I've done live streaming. And putting all the pieces together is a big deal. You don't want to be spending the time and energy and things that make your life difficult at the end of the day. So what I want to focus on, though, today, now there are lots of different things that make your vlog or podcast successful. We've been all week long, we're talking about your blog. This is our focus for the week. But this is an important aspect to what a blog can be. And so if this fits your mindset, or if this fits what you want to do, I really wanted to cover this for you. There are many different things that make each thing successful, because like all social media channels, there are different personalities that you need to embody in being part of those social media channels. And it's no different when you're dealing with content. There are certain personalities that you need to be concerned of, and I call them personalities just to make it easier for logic. But so when somebody reads a blog, they're reading a blog. When somebody's going to a vlog, they're expecting video content. And if it's on YouTube, they're expecting that content to be polished and edited and all those kinds of things. If it's a live stream, people are going to expect different because of the way a live stream works. And they know that that person is literally live doing that actual interaction with the audience. And then, of course, your podcast being completely different as well, knowing that it is audio-based. I mean, there are certain aspects to each one that are important. I will be writing up a blog post for this live where I will include some other important things for you to look at, some key places where you can look for some specific information about how to make a vlog or a podcast successful. So there'll be some links in there. If you want that information, let me know. Hey, thanks very much for that thumbs up, Lynn. I hope your internet is better today. I noticed that yesterday the video missed a chunk. Like there was like a chunk of video missing out of this particular video yesterday. So let's hope that the internet's better today. So far, so good. So those resources will be in the blog post, so you can look at some of those other ways that you can be successful with your vlog or with your podcast. But today I want to cover the aspects of your website. Now, you don't need a website to have a vlog or to have a podcast. However, there are some amazing reasons why you would want to have a blog for these things. Number one, you're creating content which will then also be used by the search engines to help people find you. And then when they find you, of course, they can participate in your vlog or on your podcast. So these are some important things why blog posts would be important, or a website would be important for the aspect of your vlog or your podcast show. It will drive traffic to your vlog or your podcast, and that's what you want to do, right? Now there's some key ingredients for a successful blog. It's important for you to realize you can't just take your vlog and create a blog post where it's just a video. I mean, you can technically, and logically you can just create the blog post with that in it, but it's not going to help your search engine rankings very much. It's really not going to do a lot for you. You're putting some effort into something that's going to land a little flat. So I'm going to give you some good tips on how to make this land better, and so that you'll get more traffic based on what you're doing, okay? I want you to have the most success with this. This is what's important. Now, the key ingredients for the blog post when it comes to your vlogs or your podcast: content is always king. It doesn't matter whether you're creating your show or you're creating your blog post. Content is always what's important. People aren't going to stay, read, listen to, participate with your content if they don't feel like it is good content. You'll know. If people aren't participating, you'll know. And so when you create your blog post, it's no different. Your blog post has to stand on its own. So far, so good? Awesome. Just looking for a link for a video transcribe service. Oh, okay. Well, there is no link for a video transcribe service. I mean, yes, exactly. You can pay for it. So Scribey is one way to do it. That's certainly not the way I do it, because I'm taking the extra time. Now, literally speaking, you have to decide whether or not it is worth the money for you to spend it, or whether you want to do it yourself. So I have currently chosen to do it myself. I want to run a process the way that I want the process run, and then I can hand it off to a VA when I'm ready. So this is what's important. First and foremost, you need to have great content to associate with the conversation. So if you were to go look at the blog post associated with yesterday's live, for example, it is content that's created as a blog post. And I know that, I talked about in this, the description to this video, that you aren't a fan of writing, so maybe you are streaming or you have a podcast. I'm sorry to tell you that you have to write. Now, there's lots of different ways you can do it. Yes, Lynn, you can have somebody scribe your video for you. Here's what I know about scribing a video or getting the closed captioning for the video, is that the words are live words. They don't make a lot of sense when it comes to making a video post, making a blog post. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you can't hand that over to somebody and ask them to write a blog post for you. That's totally true. But know that your content has to stand out as its own, as a blog post. Because if people find you on Google, they search up the information and they come over to your blog post and they come read it, it has to read like a blog post. If it reads as closed captioned information, it's not going to make a lot of sense to people. I've done it where I've closed captioned the video, and then I've taken the video, like just the transcribed stuff, and tried to make some kind of sense out of it so it looked like it was a blog, and that just didn't work for me. So I do have a methodology that I'm working on to give you guys this content in the best way that I know how. So yes, you totally need to edit after. But it is important that you have words. Words are really important. Google always works on words, okay? In order for you to have a successful amount of words for search engine optimization, or the SEO, you need to have a minimum of 300 words. So somewhere between 300 and 1,500 words is what you are looking for when creating the information for your blog. Now, as a podcaster, now I've done podcasting, and one of the most important things to do, yes, Google can't read video. One of the most important things to do is to make sure that you create show notes. So much the same as what I do for you guys in live streaming is that there's a methodology that I follow. There are, there's a structure that I follow when I'm live streaming with you guys. I know what I'm talking about, what are my talking points. And so you need to take those talking points and expand on them. And you're going to expand on them anyway when you're actually talking. And so you want to expand on them in a way you're actually writing this information out so that you can take this information that you've generated in your either vlog or your podcast or your live stream and write it out as an actual blog post using the show notes feature. Now, when you bring that over, you're going to create a blog post, and your blog post is your show notes, essentially. But remember, 300 to 1,500 words is what you require. And remember, yesterday we talked about the keywords that you should be including as well. So bringing that all over to a blog. So you create the blog post, and here's the thing. You need to embed everything else, okay? So embedding your video or your podcast is important. Now, regardless of how you are vlogging or live streaming, there is a way to embed it, but understand what embedding means. So when you go look at a blog post that I've done where it's based on these live streams, at the very top, you can actually see the video right there. Now, you could play that video right on my website if you like, but that is actually embedded from Facebook. So if somebody clicked on the video on my website, you can watch it right on the website, or there's a way that you can click it so that it'll take you back to Facebook to watch it. So people can like it right there as if they're on Facebook and all those kinds of things. Now that's embedding it. You can do the same thing. You can embed from YouTube. You can embed from, I'm drawing a blank, from Periscope as well. So there are ways that you can embed what you're doing. Now you can also embed from your podcast as well. I'm getting all these things all messed up. It's all good. So you can embed from everything. Make sure that that's embedded on the blog post, because that's important, so people can see the actual content that it was created from. And then the content is your show notes. You create that information, and remember, 300 to 1,500 words is what you're looking for. And you also want to make sure you have fantastic images to go with this. So just because you've created some visual content doesn't mean to say you're done. You need to have, because blog posts really require, you need to have some great images as well. Now these images that you create will be used not only for the blog post to look good on your website, but it's also going to be used for sharing. We talked about this yesterday as well, making sure that sharing is part of your overall plan, and that's important. The images are going to help you with the sharing. Now, this is going to help you be successful in your vlog, podcast, or live streaming world, because you're now using the words on your website, in your blog, to attract traffic from people who are searching for you in Google, and then driving traffic back to that embedded information. That is how you're getting that overall traffic back over. And you get to share in different ways. Now, there are different ways to share all of these pieces of content. It's nicer for somebody to, so for example, let's look at this as of the Facebook live stream. If I was to just link people from Twitter to my Facebook live stream, they're probably not going to be happy about it because I'm asking them to switch platforms. However, if I ask them to go from my Twitter feed to my blog post that just happens to have a Facebook Live embedded in it, it's going to feel better to them. Remember, I talked about personalities and how people feel on different platforms. So this is going to make them feel better, but I'm getting that cross traffic from Twitter and from Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever it is that I'm asking people to come from. Because they're landing on a neutral place, which is my blog, they're going to feel more comfortable about getting that content delivered to them. So there are amazing ways that you can do this. Now, some people will actually put their link to their podcast on Twitter, but then as soon as they click it, it starts playing. To me, that's rude, and I know it's rude to a lot of other people too. They don't want to click on something that's going to automatically play for them. It's a tactic to get more people listening to your show, and I really don't think it's very valuable to the people. When I click on a podcast link, I want it to take me somewhere where I can either subscribe to that podcast or choose if I'm going to listen to it by what I see when I click on that link. So when you do this, if you were doing it this way, at least when you click that link, it's going to take them to a blog post where they can read the show notes if they want and decide whether or not they want to listen to the show. So there's a lot of different ways that this blog factor can actually help you to grow your audience with your vlog, your podcast, or your live stream as well. So if you guys have any questions, love to answer them for you. But remember, the thing is, you want to be creating content that can stand on its own on your blog. So when somebody goes to your blog to go read it, it feels like a blog post to them, so that they don't feel like you've just dumped the middle in the middle of nowhere somewhere and nothing makes sense. So I hope you had a great day this morning. Hopefully you have some amazing things planned for the day, and leave me a comment below if there's something that you would like to ask me about creating blog posts for your vlogs, podcasts, or live streams. And definitely have a great day. Tomorrow morning, we are going to be talking about the anatomy of a great blog post. So we are going through and putting all of these pieces together so that you can create an amazing blog post with all of the different features that you will that will make you successful. So have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And as always, if this content resonates with you and you think it's going to help somebody, please share it out. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye now.